Hello everyone, it's day 57. Today I started my day by finishing watching the last short video for CS50 for week 1. I also did the lab. We had to submit 2 exercises. One was just a basic hello world. We had to get input from the user and then say back hello plus their name. And then the other one was a population problem. We had to get 2 numbers from the user. The second number had to be bigger than the first number. And it was a formula that we had to implement and basically return the number of years, I think, that it took for the population of llamas to reach whatever number, whatever second number that the user gave. So that was kind of cool. Before the actual problem set questions, we had 2 other problems. One was, it called it Mario, but really it was just the star pattern, which I realized it's actually quite common. I think it's like Pascal's triangle or something with the P, I think. I know I looked on YouTube or whatever and that name kept coming up. But anyway, we had to make a triangle, basically whatever integer the user input, it had to be that number high by that number wide, but it was supposed to be right aligned. Most common, it's easy to implement a left aligned triangle, but right aligned, you had to think about how you had to go about it or whatever. So I finally figured that one out. The second one though, which was the most interesting one, was the cash register problem. It used the greedy algorithm, which I had never heard of until yesterday. And I had also never really programmed in C until yesterday. So that also made it even more interesting and quite difficult. But anyway, so the problem was we had a user input change. It could be dollars or it could be in cents. And we had to return how many coins, the least amount of number of coins. So that's where the greedy algorithm comes in. Added up to that certain cents amount that the user input. So greedy algorithm is say you got 50 cents. The whole point is to find the highest ranking coins that you can use that'll add up to 50 or whatever. Because of course you can give someone 50 pennies, but that's not what the greedy algorithm is. You want to try to implement the most quarters since that's the highest coin currency that we had to use or whatever. So that was cool figuring that out. And then in doing that problem, then it really got me interested in finding out about other algorithms or whatever. So I bookmarked a couple playlists on YouTube that I found for data structures and algorithms or whatever. What else did I do? Oh, execute program. I did some more exercises until this time it told me that my trial had ended. So apparently it lets you finish 60% of the program. And then it's now you have to sign up for a subscription, $19.99 a month. I have yet to decide if it's worth paying $20 a month. Mind you, they have other courses that I want to take, but because you can't binge, it forces you to drag it out, which from a business standpoint, I see why they did it. So you can't finish everything you want to in a month. So you only got to pay for 1 month. So yeah, I don't know if that is worth paying for. It's a great free resource, but I just don't know about it being good to have to pay for it or whatever. Coincidentally, the next lesson for CS50 is on arrays. So I was taking the execute program really just for arrays anyway. So hopefully that'll give me some clarity on that. Now, I realize it's in C, so of course it's not going to have the ES6 methods or whatever that I really wanted to work on, but we'll see what it's talking about nonetheless. Another thing, I've been kind of going back and forth as to what my end goal actually is. Getting more into algorithms and learning to use C kind of gave me a little bit of nostalgia. My original major was computer science. Back then, one, I didn't know how to study. I hadn't figured out how I learned. So it was really difficult. I did terrible, basically failed out. Took a break, went to community college, changed my major a bunch of times or whatever. So like, yeah, I basically just told myself like I wasn't smart enough to do programming. And like, I guess that's one reason why I took a liking to web development. One, at the end of the day, it's easier. And you get instant results. Like you change the color of a button, boom, the buttons change. You can see that you did something. And it's really not that hard to get going or to end up doing cool stuff or whatever. So like, I don't know, I kind of getting to a point now where I wouldn't say the web development is getting boring. It's just the challenge is that I had in the beginning is going away a little more each day, basically. So like, I know me, I like a challenge. And if I'm not challenged, I'll get bored. So a part of me, like, I don't know, kind of awakened, like, or reminded me why I picked computer science initially right out of high school, even though I didn't follow through with it. So like, I definitely have a increased interest in it or whatever. Which I've seen, like, which is also confusing when you look for jobs. You'll see software developer and you'll see front-end developer. Coincidentally, though, the actual job description, aside from the name, for a lot of it is almost identical or whatever. So, I don't know. I know I do like working with JavaScript, but like, I probably want to work with JavaScript in like a full stack capacity, like incorporating, I guess, programming with web development, like kind of like the best of both worlds. So maybe full stack developer or something. I don't know, with JavaScript, who knows? But yeah, I think I'm probably leaning more towards that route. Another thing I decided to, I'm going to continue following the Odin project. However, I'm going to tweak it just for what I want to do. I don't necessarily want to cover everything that they cover, or maybe not say not cover everything they cover, just not cover everything in the order that they do. I know I've mentioned it before. I'm not like obsessed with frameworks, especially React, like everyone else. Like I'm more interested in learning about Node, see what that's about. Maybe because that's like continuing on JavaScript in like another capacity, basically, opposed to React is basically just creating websites using a framework or using a library or whatever. It's like doing the same thing that you can do with vanilla JavaScript. I can see myself getting bored with it just because it's a new way of doing something, but like at the end of the day, it's not new, if that makes any sense. Like I want to know, like, how do you submit a form? Like, how do you send an email? Like that kind of stuff. Like I want to know like how the whole picture comes about or whatever. So, but yeah, the next project for the Odin project was a to-do list, which I'm not doing a to-do list. I'm just not. And one, the book library project that we just did like 3 projects ago, it was a to-do list. Like that seems kind of repetitious if you ask me. I thought of a portfolio project that I want to do, which is basically has similar functionality to a to-do list. It's just not a to-do list. So what I'm going to do is substitute that project for a project I'm going to put on my portfolio. Still using the same concepts. I would never put a to-do list on my portfolio, so I just don't see the purpose of it. And I've already done like basically a to-do list or whatever. So anyway, it's just my opinion. But yeah, another thing I do need to work on is finishing my portfolio. Like I mean, in my mind, the end of this month, or maybe even if I can swing it, like by the end of this week, at least apply for one job and see what happens. I don't know. I have to admit, like, anytime I'll see somebody say that they just got hired or whatever, the first thing I do is I look at their portfolio just to see, like, I wouldn't say what level, but like the quality of projects that they have on their portfolio. And then like, I just take that to be like, all right, if they had this and they got hired, like kind of seeing like where the bar is, if that makes sense. Which of course it's different for different people depending on where you are, what country you even live in and all that. What other skills that you have aside from what's on your portfolio and all that. But yeah, so I just keep seeing more and more portfolio projects and I'm just like, I don't know, I feel like what I can do is in line with what I'm seeing people who already got hired, even if it is like the most junior roles or whatever. So yeah, may as well shoot my shot because why not? But yeah, overall good day, day 57.